Have you ever wondered how some people seem to effortlessly keep their home tidy while others are completely overwhelmed by chaos? There's a simple reason for this, which I overlooked for a long time, and what the reason is, we'll discuss in today's video. Happy to welcome you on my channel. My name is Jasmine and I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been living a minimalist lifestyle for over 6 years now. Minimalism is so much more than just a trend or a specific home design. Before we dive into what this has to do with tidiness and the change that made all the difference for me, let's first clarify some basic points. Stuff. Everything you own also owns you. Have you heard that saying before? When I first heard it, I honestly didn't think much of it and even dismissed it as nonsense. I couldn't have been much more wrong. Minimalism is about focusing on what's essential. That means letting go of unnecessary items, but also distancing ourselves from behaviors that don't serve us well. Why do we do this? It's simple. Everything you own requires your time and attention. You have to clean it, organize it, and find space for it, and it costs you money. But I never thought about this before. I even believed that it was perfectly normal to accumulate more and more things in my life. Shopping. If you've seen some of my videos before, you probably know that I used to be quite the shopping victim. Every month I indulged in shopping sprees without giving a second thought to my bank account or the state of my home. The result was that neither my finances nor my home were in good shape. I came to minimalism slowly and through many detours, realizing that my expensive designer clothes were worth almost nothing secondhand was one wake-up call. Another was the frequent moves that required me to pack box after box. Over time, I decided to start letting go of things. I began selling used items online. While that didn't immediately solve the issue of tidiness, it changed something in my mindset. And what's that we'll talk about next. Decluttering. A lack of space always leads to mess. If you want your home to be tidy, you need enough room for your belongings. And that's simply not possible if you have too much stuff. Regular decluttering is therefore a key part of minimalism. At first, I only decluttered occasionally. I didn't understand the impact that having less stuff would have on our home organization. And admittedly, it was hard for me to let go of things. Nowadays, I declutter regularly and I even enjoy it. There's a simple trick that can help you let go more easily. What it is, we'll discuss in a moment, so stay tuned. Before I tell you how improved organization has impacted me personally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future videos. Together we'll simplify your life. Let's continue. Overwhelmed. I used to feel overwhelmed by household chores. The truth is, it wasn't just about not wanting to do them. I also felt like I couldn't manage all the tasks that came up, especially alongside work. Or I thought it would take forever to get everything tidy again. All of that has changed now. By regularly decluttering and establishing a few simple daily routines, the organization in our home has improved significantly, and I feel much more relaxed. I no longer have to spend hours on the weekends trying to get the midway chaos under control. I tidy up the living room and kitchen every evening. Because of that, much less clutter accumulates, and I'm usually done in 15 minutes. I can live with that. Finances. Of course, my minimalist lifestyle also has a positive effect on my finances. What once seemed impossible is now going really well. I'm finally able to save money. That means I don't have to worry if the car breaks down or if we need a new household appliance. This allows me to sleep much more peacefully. Learning to let go. Now, as promised, here's my little magic trick to make decluttering easier. I completely understand if it's hard for you to let certain things go. It was the same for me for years. And even though I've gotten better at it, I'm still not immune to attachment. But I've discovered a trick that works wonderfully for me, and that's what we'll discuss now. If I struggle to let something go because it was expensive, for example, or because I think I might need it again in 3 years, I move it to a transitional area. That means taking it out of its usual spot and putting it in a box where I keep things I probably don't need anymore. I leave it there for a while, at least a few weeks, sometimes longer. This has an effect on me. When I revisit the box after several weeks, my first thought is usually, you still haven't sorted this out. You haven't sold it, donated it, or taken it to the recycling center. And honestly, if that's my first thought, then the item can't be that important to me, right? Routines. If you're new to decluttering, here are my 2 favorite tips to help you get started. To avoid feeling overwhelmed, focus on specific areas. Don't tackle the entire house at once. Start with just a drawer. For sustainable progress, set a specific goal each week. For example, I'll declutter 3 items per week. Now, back to my initial question. Why is it that some people find it easier to keep things tidier than others? The answer is that they have probably different routines and far fewer possessions. This makes it easier for them to maintain order. The more you have, the more you need to clean. The longer you procrastinate, the longer it will take. Examine your habits and look for ways to incorporate simple cleaning routines into your daily life. You'll see that this will have a huge impact on the tidiness of your home. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and most importantly, come back next time. I'd love to see you again. Until then, all the best, Jasmine.